what happens if I click start streaming. I guess I just have to hope for the best, but we should be streaming now in theory. It's going to be a rough first try.
Maybe we make it go private while we test it out.
Yeah. Well, I doubt anyone's tuned in right now anyway, so it's all good. I guess I'll see what's happening now on YouTube Studio. The way I've got it set up now is like Skype is on the right half of the screen, and then I just have like Chrome open on the left side. Okay, new stream. Nope. I guess new stream.
It says we are live right now.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Well.
Live viewers too. I don't know if that's us or if we have two people watching us try to figure this shit out, but we have two viewers.
Awesome.
Yeah, hang on. I'm actually going to jump onto I want to verify that it's actually live.
Gotta start somehow.
Well, it sucks that they did away with the Google Hangouts because that would made life so much easier.
Yeah. You turned it from a 2-click thing to
annoyance.
Download a million things.
Oh, download a million things. Oh, it's still not going to work. Oh, yeah, it says we're live. I went onto a thing and, yep, sure enough, it shows me looking at my phone. All right, yeah, awesome. No, we are live, so we're good.
Well, now we know.
Yeah, yep, nope, we definitely know. All right.
Everyone's getting a nice peek into my lovely hotel room at the Holiday Inn.
At the Holiday Inn. Still in Detroit?
Yeah. Last night for a while, thank God. Next time I travel, it's Brazil.
That's a big difference from Detroit.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. My fiance isn't, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been a while.
It has. It's been a long while. So for those of you that are just now joining, welcome. And if you fast forward those last 10 minutes, thank you.
Yeah, don't go back from wherever you are now in the live stream.
Yeah, no, let's start now.
Yeah, but it's been a long time. I guess, hopefully by now people that are familiar with our channel know that it's actually two people doing these things and not, one person and then John Goodman popping in once in a while to do a video.
John Goodman jumps in and do some voiceover work for us.
Yeah, just doing some overviews. So yeah, man, it's been a long time, and
it has a long time. This is something we've been wanting to do for a very long time, though, and we just are finally being able to get around to it. So
yeah, probably going to be for these live streams anyway. It's usually going to be late night comic talks, I imagine, just because life, especially for you with the kids and all that. I mean, gets wild, I'm sure.
Yep, and you got the wedding coming up and work and everything else. So,
but yeah, anyway, it's been a long time of just not being able to talk comics, and anyway, here we are, man. So I guess
let's dive in.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start. There's so many.
Okay, well, there's been a ton of shit announced. First of all, obviously I have the custom bound Swamp Thing, so I did not order the Absolute. I know you did order the Absolute, but you have not had a chance to view it yet. Is that correct?
That's right. It is at home right now in a nice Amazon box, probably damaged, probably dented in a corner. Which is a problem, but I mean, based on what everyone's saying about the book anyway, probably going to be the least of my concerns.
Correct. So have you seen any, because I know you kind of left social media there kind of for a while, so have you seen any of the reviews and pictures and things that people have been posting about it?
Yeah, so plug for the deluxe edition is the YouTube page that I saw. That dude did an overview, and Like he literally during his overview, the binding was already coming apart.
Oh, that
Yeah,
sucks.
it's rough. And like you and I were talking about it too, because I had the same problem with. I think I had overall 3 copies of Absolute Watchmen that I've had throughout like my collection phases, and like that book too. Just no matter what copy I had, just fell apart in one way or another. And like we were saying, like Alan Moore just, his Absolute editions are just for whatever reason, DC just can't pull it together on the binding, which sucks, especially because like these things cost a pretty penny, and it's like the definitive Swamp Thing run. Watchmen is like one of the greatest stories that's going to be talked about probably until the world ends. I don't know. I mean, until something happens. But I mean, Watchmen's,
Uh,
there's not a movie being made. There's a show being made now, and it's always being talked about. So it's just unfortunate DC can't pull it together, especially since like the Preacher Absolute editions are
are
stunning.
amazing. Yep.
Sandman. I mean, there's so many that are just ridiculously good, and it's a shame. It's a shame,
Makes
but
you wonder if they switched up binderies or what they did with it.
yeah, cut corners
Now, I've
somewhere.
also heard a lot of people have been complaining about. So, a lot of people like the mossy feel, which you'll do your review on once you get home. But they like the mossy feel of the book. But a lot of people have been hating on the recolorization of the
Right,
book.
right,
Um, and they did not do what they did with Killing Joke, which is had the original and the revamped all in the absolute. This one, it's just all of the new recoloring with none of the original, and
right.
I know that a lot of people are not very happy with what they did to it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I checked it out again in that video, and it seems like there's a lot of fancy video color editing stuff going on in these super production,
Hmm.
high production videos. So it's tough even just from like the one overview I saw to tell what the coloring looked like because I felt like there were filters on the video itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I've heard a lot of people complain saying it's not as doesn't have as much depth and just looks a little weird. But I mean, I get it. I can't even imagine how thick that book would be with like new coloring and then
Both. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. You'd almost have to create two different complete absolutes.
yeah,
You'd have to have like an original. You'd have to have like a variant,
yeah.
like a complete like original variant.
I just don't get why even do that, Why even recolor? I mean, I get it. Technology's better now, and coloring you can do a lot more with it. But the original was so successful because of everything that was put into it, the way it was, and I guess that's why even though with the absolutes, like your custom binds are like I would rather that than the absolute, but
Yeah, I do love the custom binds. Those are
oh
no.
yeah,
But well, you had mentioned Watchmen. Um, have you seen any of the episodes of Watchmen yet?
I have not, but
You're
I've heard
killing
it's
me.
I know I haven't watched Doom. I haven't finished Doom Patrol. Haven't watched any Watchmen, but
What are you doing in your hotel room?
I know, man. I've just been drawing and studying for the stupid certification thing I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Have Doom on.
Oh man, running into some technical difficulties with Skype here. Foiled again by hotel Wi-Fi. Damn, man.
Good as we can. So, what are some other new upcoming releases and things? I think you had a website pulled up, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was actually just looking at like I wasn't even looking at hardcovers. I was just looking at just in general what's coming out from DC and Marvel and stuff, but we can definitely jump into releases here. I mean, I know I saw recently Absolute Gotham by Gaslight got solicited, which is pretty exciting even though that's not like a super long story. But I think the cover price is $50, which is not bad. Um,
Yeah.
I guess, for a little thin thing like that. But I know there's some stuff I'm excited about. I think Jeff Lemire's Animal Man drops like next week. Um, Batman Black and White's coming soon. They're doing an omnibus for that.
Injustice.
That's right, Injustice. Yep.
The Injustice Omnibus, I was super excited about that one. That thing is massively thick. It's got, I think it's years. Crap, now I don't remember what was all in it. The first 2 years or the first.
Probably the first
I
two.
think it's the first 2 years.
Yeah.
But it looks amazing. So that one looks really exciting.
Yeah, man. The Spectre Bronze Age.
Yes, yes.
That's pretty exciting for you.
Spectre's Bronze Age. They got the Wolverine reprint upcoming. The original Wolverine reprint, the Claremont, Larry Hama, the early '80s Wolverine.
Yep.
Um,
They are doing Preacher Omnis as well, I saw.
they are. Yes, that one was also announced.
Yep. Very exciting time if people didn't pick up the Absolutes, which I do recommend.
For people that are interested, just a real quick note on the Power Rangers Deluxe editions. Volume 1 is back in stock, last I knew, on In Stock Trades and a couple other sites. I think Cheap Graphic Novels is claiming they're getting some in a week. So if you haven't gotten it yet, now's the time to try to find it online somewhere and jump on it, because it's already kind of went out of stock once, and then it came back for a quick second, and now it looks like it's on the verge of being out of stock again. So if the Power Rangers Deluxe editions are something you're interested in, please be sure to grab them now while you can, so you can avoid paying $300 a book later. The Volume 2, Year 2, I think is still okay, but I have heard Shattered Grid, which is basically Volume 3. Shattered Grid, I've heard those actually out of stock already, so...
Wow.
I don't know if it's out of print, but last I heard, Shattered Grid was out of stock, and I actually ended up canceling my pre-order on that one because I thought it'd be around a little bit longer, kind of like Volume 2 was, because, finances. So I ended up canceling it. Now I'm like, I don't know if I should have done that or not.
Might have helped with the finances, flipping that bad boy. Yeah, those books blow my mind. I mean, I know certain books, like again, like those Conan books, the Omnis that came out, those also got crazy with the pricing. But it's just wild. I didn't expect Power Rangers to turn into such a hot item,
Yeah.
but I guess you never know, man. Some other stuff I'm seeing here: Green Arrow by Mike Grell, Omnibus Volume 1. It's pretty exciting.
Yes, and a lot of people, the running joke on that one is because DC cancels everything. They announce and then cancel. And I mean, how long did it take for Aquaman Jeff Johns to finally drop?
That's true.
How many times did they solicit and cancel that book before it finally did come out?
Yep.
Like several.
Yeah.
So there's always jokes that DC announces stuff, like the Impulse Omnibus. That's almost why I didn't do the custom binds, because I was like, oh, I'll just buy the official. And then they canceled that one. Like, they're just known for announcing and canceling stuff left and right. And so the running joke on this one is well, how long is it going to be before they cancel it? So
that's always funny when the date on Amazon changes from whatever it was, May 21st, 2020 to like January 1st, 2099 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. That shit's never coming out. But so I'm looking now, Absolute Fourth World. I remember seeing that for the first time, and I don't know. I mean, I guess for the diehards out there, I enjoyed Fourth World, the omnibus, I guess, for what it was. But I'm kind of I'm one of those millennials who's just I get picky with my old school stuff.
You damn millennial.
I know. Shame on me.
So I'm kind of in here looking at the comments as we go just to see. Someone commented, can't wait for that Green Arrow run, Silent Gamer. I agree that Green Arrow run is going to be epic. And then Tom the Fish said, Red Sonja the Gods Omni. What run is that?
Let's take a look.
Yeah, I was like, you got the computer there. I'm not familiar with that one. I can honestly say I've never read a Red Sonja book.
Yeah, I read little bit of the Gail Simone stuff. I think she's getting like a
Is that?
deluxe oversized.
Yeah, I did hear that. Is that what that is, or is that something else?
Zoomed in too far. So it looks like this one. They don't really mention what issues it is, but the run is by, it looks like Luke Lieberman, Ethan Riker, Louis Antonio's the artist, Walter Giovanni, Lucio Perillo, and Daniel Semperi. My bad, probably butchering that. Um, yeah, it looks like you're getting Doom of the Gods, Wrath of the Gods, and Revenge of the Gods.
All
So
about the gods.
all about them gods.
Is that an older run from like the 70s or 80s, or what is that?
I mean, I believe so based on the names, but let's just do a quick.
Sorry if it looks like I'm staring at my phone. I'm trying to look at your screen through my phone on the live stream. So I'm not trying to be rude to anyone for
Yeah.
those that are. I'm trying to look at this here because he has the website up.
Might be looking at the wrong thing even here because it looks like Luke Lieberman. The year one story, which is not what we're looking for.
Oh, he said it was from 3 different minis from the 2000s.
Gotcha. All right, well, good to know. I mean,
Thank you, Tom the Fish.
Yeah, thank you. It's got some interesting stuff. I'm seeing Thor, Odin, Loki in there too, so could be cool to see how, different universes handle those Norse gods.
Yeah.
Finally step away from the Marvel look at it. The Batman Omnibus looks pretty exciting. Batwoman, sorry. Did I say? Yeah, whatever. Batwoman Omnibus looks pretty exciting. Greg Rucka, J.H. Williams III.
Yes, that one is going to be epic.
Yeah.
That was a really good run.
They are doing paperback irredeemable omnibus. That's that Mark Waid series.
That is one of the greatest comics I've ever read.
Yeah.
It's definitely like in my top 10 of all time favorite runs. It was absolutely incredible. If you didn't get the deluxe editions, it is nice that they're doing these paperback omnis because there's a couple volumes of the 5 deluxe editions actually out of print and sell for a pretty penny nowadays. But those are it's an amazing story. If you've never read it, take a chance on the paperback omnibus and read it. It is absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like they're reprinting Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 again.
Again, yes, that stuff's basically evergreen at this point. Not volumes 2, it's only volume 1 though.
Right.
Volumes 2 and 3 are still pretty hard. I don't know if they're getting a reprint or not. But I know that those ones were still going for a pretty decent coin last I knew.
Right. Superman, Batman, Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness. That's pretty decent stuff. It starts, from what I remember, it starts off pretty strong and then kind of falls off a little bit.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Some stuff I think
I'm glad they're finally collecting it though, because before it was only collected in the 2 absolutes, and that wasn't even like the whole run or anything.
Right.
It's like they kind of stopped collecting, and then if you're one that was collecting the series, you're now stuck with these 2 absolutes, and yeah. Kind of like the whole Ultimate Spider-Man.
Right. Some stuff you might be interested in.
Omnibus, and then that was it.
My bad. It's more technical
difficulties we got here
with Skype. Sorry, guys. It's gonna be a rough one. It's the hotel Wi-Fi. It'll be better next time once I'm home. Morbius the Living Vampire looks like it's collecting the classic stuff.
Yes, I am. I think I'll probably read. I like the idea that really intrigues me. And I've read some of the Morbius stuff, obviously from the Spider-Man books. So I think I might try to read like some of the stuff digitally just to see if it's worth investing the coin into it.
Right.
And if so, I will definitely pick it up because the subject matter definitely interests me.
Yeah. It's again probably not a book I'll dive into too much, but
now that we got to be choosy about what we get.
Yeah. Speaking of being choosy, I'll definitely be getting the Volume 3 of Black Science, the premiere hardcovers. If you guys have never seen those, we have overviews for Volume 1 and 2. They're like absolute size.
They're books. Huge.
Very reasonably priced. I mean, even at the cover price of $66.50. See how many pages you got in here.
I think it's around 400 or 500. Yeah.
I mean, the binding was kind of rough on Volume 1, but I know they did fix that with.
They did, yeah. They re-released it.
Yeah, So I mean, Image and Rick Remender are at least taking care of their mess ups, unlike DC. Astonishing X-Men by Joss Whedon and John Cassaday reprint.
It's another good reprint.
Looking forward to that one. Hellblazer by Garth Ennis. I think we're both pretty.
Yep,
pretty
I will be.
about.
I will be picking up that one as well. That one's a for sure pickup for me. I'm actually going back through and rereading all the issues starting at number 1. I think I'm on like issue 30 right now. I'm going back and kind of rereading everything. But yes, I will be picking that one up for sure.
You used to have. I think you used to have the whole custom bind.
I did. Yeah.
It was probably tough to let go.
It was actually I actually just recently parted with those. Like really, really recently. Like I said, you got 4 kids and a wife to take care of. Money. Sometimes you gotta let go of some things to provide. So.
Yeah.
I unfortunately did have to part, but the good news is that it was a custom bind, and it wasn't one that I created. If it was a custom bind that I created, I probably would have been way less open to doing it.
Right.
But since it was a custom bind set that I had bought off another collector, it wasn't as hard because I didn't have my design and my and stuff, and they were gorgeous books. So I'm not they were absolutely gorgeous, but it's cool because now it kind of gives me the opportunity, maybe in a year or so when things are a little bit different, I can go back and recollect all the trade paperbacks and then rebind them in the way that I wanted them bound. Because I remember back in the day we talked about I wanted to do Connecting Spines where it spelled out Hellblazer across 10 volumes or whatever it was, and I still want to do that. So I think I'll end up doing it again. It'll be a little while.
Speaking of Connecting Spines, I had this whole thing planned out. I designed all the dust jackets for my 5-volume Invincible set, and I was planning to go to Staples, print it all out. I was looking through my collection, went to my bookshelf spare room where I've got books laying around. I have no idea where Volume 1 is. It's gone.
Oh,
it's gone. I have no idea what happened.
Well, you guys just recently moved, right?
Yeah.
Did it get lost in the shuffle?
I mean, we didn't have movers. I've checked my parents' house. It's gone. I gotta fork out the money to buy the first compendium again. Gotta get it rebound. I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is.
Well, speaking of the Connecting Spines and custom dust jackets and things like that, you do design those for a fee if anyone's interested. A cheap fee too, compared to a lot of other people out there. But I need my booster golds.
Did I not send those to you?
Yeah, I never got them. It just dawned on me. I'm like sitting here looking at it, and I go, those are looking mighty naked right now.
Yeah, I gotta send that to you, man.
Mike actually designed. Do you have them on that computer that you can pull up so people can see it? Give an example of your work. We'll do a little promotion here.
I mean, I've got a couple. So I've got this Batgirl.
There you go.
I've got this Batgirl by Brian Q. Miller. Still haven't printed it out, but got a nice purple vibe going with it.
Yeah, there you go. That looks good.
Pretty excited about that. Nothing too crazy. Usually I
like that spine a lot, man. That spine looks dope.
I also redid, again, haven't printed this, but I wasn't a big fan of the official Aquaman Dust Jacket release. So I made my own. Still haven't printed it. Had a lot of fun with it, I think, and for anyone wondering if anyone's interested in ever getting one of these done, if you have your vision for it, it's all good. I'll do whatever you want to do, but I usually prefer to keep it a little simpler, let the art do its thing, because art's usually stunning. So trying to see what else I've got here, man, but I don't think it's on this PC. It's all on a hard drive somewhere.
Yeah, well, it's a shame because he designed me some really awesome. I have a couple custom binds that I bought off a collector, and They don't have dust jackets or anything on them, so I asked Mike to design a connecting spine dust jacket for me, and it turned out amazing. Like it turned out way better than I anticipated it, and so I was like, oh, I need to get those printed. I'm actually gonna have Hauschen print those for me. I'm gonna pay the $30 and have them print them, and that way that it's like actual real quality, like a real DJ, and not like
right
my local store. So
yeah, let me see if I can. Got it in my email, but damn it, everyone's gonna see my personal email.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I will touch base on the ASM JMS Volume 2.
Yeah, I brought that up because I know you hate
it. Yeah. So Amazing Spider-Man by JMS Volume 2 is also going to be coming out. I recently completed Volume 1, and the storytelling is great. It's a great story. But I've said it before, JRJR did the art. And I was not a fan of his art at all. And I feel like it actually really took away from the story, and it was made it at times it was kind of hard to look at and kind of hard to get through.
Right.
There was just something about the way that he draws. It's just like the noses are like very blocky, and I don't know how to explain it. Like if you see it, and some people love his art, and that's fine. Like I'm not knocking it. I'm not trying to. I mean, he could draw way better than I ever could, so I'm not trying to knock the guy. But the art style is just it's not for me, and it really detracted from the story. And he's also the artist, or did a lot of the art in Volume 2. So I don't think I'm going to be picking up Volume 2. I think I want to read it because I want to continue the story because the story was interesting.
Right.
But I think I'll probably just read it digitally and just kind of save my money and not pick it up in the omnibus format, just because the art was, especially with as picky as I now have to be, at least for probably the next year or so, in regards to the books that I buy and the things that I collect. I'm really I have to be super, super picky going forward. Right. And that's just, I'm only going to buy the stuff that I'm going to reread multiple times over. So
yeah, I just pulled up his Action Comics 1020 cover.
Yeah, what is that about?
I mean, it's a cool idea, all these villains clashing and Superman in the middle of it trying to hold them all together, but I mean...
But Superman... I mean, well, actually, even the villain... I mean, look at him. That's rough. First of all, Superman's logo... Well, yeah, but then you got his logo. His logo looks like it belongs on a baby sweater. Like, it's so, like, tiny and weird looking and, like, misproportioned. And then you got Homeboy over here on the right. Who's that even supposed to be?
I don't know. Granted, I mean, I'm not even reading Bendis's run, and that was my joke. At least Romita's just messing with Bendis's titles. And,
yeah, I don't know. I just...
Again,
it's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel, at the end of the day, I can't draw for shit either, so...
Exactly, so I have respect for anybody that can, but...
Right. It's just the praise
it's not for me.
It's the praise he
Somebody just said that's Luthor. No way. Are you kidding me?
I gotta catch up.
Somebody just said that's Luthor.
I gotta catch up on Rebirth stuff, man. Or whatever it's called now.
Yeah, I think it's just DC Universe, but
fair enough.
What in the no? That's horrible. Oh, Apex Luthor. Okay, well, I'm behind. I haven't read Modern Superman in a while, I guess. So
that's zooming out of control.
I think the last one I read was right before Bendis took over.
Yeah, same here.
I am so far behind on modern comics, it's not even funny.
I know.
And the sad thing is, I don't care. And it's not that like they're bad, it's just I'm having so much fun reading a lot of the older stuff that we have out that we can collect in hardcovers, that we can collect in different editions and absolutes and epic collections or whatever the case may be. I'm having so much fun reliving my childhood stories or like reading things that I missed as a kid and I'm reading now or what have you. And I'm having way more fun reading that than I am modern comics, unless it's like some indie stuff. There's some indie stuff that I'm reading and like Immortal Hulk. I am following Immortal Hulk. That is a great run right now.
Yep.
But for like the most part, I'm not really reading anything modern.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a pretty solid pull list now. Like obviously keeping up with Valiant. Um, we'll see how that goes with all these corporate changes happening over there.
Yeah. Mel Kalo just left Valen. He was their marketing guy there for a while. He left, and so now all of our emails that we get for Valiant and promo and stuff is now coming from Emily and not not Mel anymore. And yeah, they've gone through a lot of changes in the last 2 years, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But there's that Booster Gold right there. There is the Booster Gold connecting spines. I can't wait to get that printed.
It's gonna look good.
Dude, it's gonna look so good. I honestly cannot wait.
Oh yeah.
I need to get those. Like I said, I'm actually going to pay Haushin to print them, so it's like a legit like dust jacket. So,
yep.
Oh, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, should be good. I don't want to give away all your stuff, but yeah, it was fun working on these. Just because that run has so many things going on, it jumps all over the place. Yeah, should be sweet.
Yep. Yeah, that's a fun run too. I'm about done with volume 1. I haven't read volume 2 yet, but it's a fun run too. I'm on a huge Motu kick right now, man. I'm really reliving my childhood.
Oh yeah, they've got that.
Like everything is Motu.
Yeah, speaking of that current stuff, did you check out I think the first issue came out of Masters of the Multiverse, I think it's called.
Oh no, I haven't heard that one, or I've heard of it, but I haven't read anything on that one yet. I know last year they just had, so like we know, how they had like Masters of the Universe versus Thundercats, and then they had, so last year they wrote it was Masters of the Universe versus is not DC. That one was like a while back, but it was Justice League, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
So I just read that one. It was like a 5 or 6 issue run that they did last year. That one was a lot of fun. Skeletor like takes over Superman because Superman's weakness is magic, and so Skeletor like tricks. He basically tricks Superman, and like, dude, and he like stores him away and creates like this. I don't want to ruin it for anyone that hasn't read it, but it is epic. It was a lot of fun to read. It's not going to be in the Motu Omni because it was a newer run, but it was epic. That was a good one.
Yeah, I hear good things about the Motu stuff going on at DC.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So yeah, my whole life right now revolves around Motu, like the newspaper comics and just all the old stuff, because that was my jam when I was a kid. And so I'm everything right now. I'm like, well, if I can only collect one thing, I guess it's gonna be Motu. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
You just want to see that He-Man chest.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's my inspiration.
Airboxing in front of a poster.
The Eye of the Tiger playing in the background.
Oh man, yeah. So I see like DC's still pumping out those Golden Age books, and
yeah, they actually just did a redesign. I don't know if it was an official redesign but someone found it was for a Superman, I think is what it was, Golden Age Superman. And like how like the Bronze Age all has like the same type of layout, and the Golden Age all has the same they've switched it up, and now the Golden Age, at least the one that I saw for Superman, has a different layout now. It's actually really cool. It did look really good. But yeah, they have a different layout now, it looks like, for the Golden Age.
Just got to stay positive. I know people hate those spine changes, but I guess you just got to stay positive. Some Aquaman Silver Age love. Ultimates getting reprinted. I don't know if you ever read that.
I don't know if I knew about that one. No, maybe I did. I think that was announced a while back.
Yeah, it's some good stuff. Doom Patrol by John Byrne.
That John Byrne has a lot of Omnis coming out, between like what he has out and then like what's upcoming. He's got She-Hulk that's upcoming.
Yep.
He's got Doom Patrol upcoming. He's got I feel like there was one more that's still upcoming that was coming out around the same time as Doom Patrol and She-Hulk. Now I can't think of what it was.
Let's see if I can find it.
I might be wrong, but I swear he has another one coming out. Did you hear about JLI Volume 2?
No, I did not.
Yeah, buddy. JLI Volume 2 is coming out. They just well, I don't know when the release date is, but that one has recently been announced. That JLI Volume 2. Um,
So it looks like his Namor came out recently.
yes, Namor. Maybe that's the one I was thinking of. That's
Yeah.
right. Yep, Namor just came out like a month or two ago.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Some good
Whose
stuff.
Hulk run is that coming out? Well, I know She-Hulk is John Byrne's run. That one's coming out, I think, in July, June or July, if I remember right.
Go back.
Jeremy Wilson is asking whose Hulk run is that, and I want to say,
I think it's the.
Oh, was that the McGinnis Loeb one?
Well, there's the Sensational She-Hulk by John Byrne.
Yes.
Let's see here. Use my Amazon searching skills. So the Peter David, what's coming in January?
Oh, I bet that's what he's referring to as the Peter David run.
Yep. So that should be good. The She-Hulk. There's a She-Hulk by Dan Slott dropping as well next year.
Yes. I did start reading because I've always heard great things about the Peter David run, and I'd only read like random issues here and there growing up. So I actually started reading that run not too terribly long ago, and it's really good. I haven't gotten too far into it, but from what I have read, that Peter David run is good. That's an Omni I would probably actually pick up.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mr. Fix-It stuff. So I've never finished all of Peter David's run, but I did read the Bruce Jones stuff, which I think came out after Peter David. And I really enjoyed that. If anyone's a fan of the current Immortal Hulk run, I highly suggest checking out the Bruce Jones run. It's got that same sort of that same vibe to it.
Like that supernatural kind of vibe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's really good.
No, that's dope.
Really good.
Yes, Banana Jester, we will come back to that. We'll just finish. I don't know how much farther we got on these Omnis. How many more pages do we have to cover on these?
I mean, we're almost close to the start of 2020, so I mean.
All right, well, let's run through these Omnis. Banana Jester had some questions about custom binds and things, which we love talking about. So we will definitely answer those questions here shortly.
One of the big ones for me anyway is Swamp Thing by Nancy.
Swamp Thing, Nancy Collins. Yep.
So I've got I'm missing maybe 7 issues of the floppies because I was just planning to do a custom bind for this since I have the Mark Millar stuff custom bound already, but I haven't had any luck, and now they dropped this Omni on us, so I figure why not. Hopefully it's not recolored poorly, and hopefully they keep the classic colors because it does look quite nice from the single issues that I've got.
I've heard mixed reviews on the run itself. Right. As far as the writing, I've heard some mixed reviews, but none of it has been horrible. A lot of it was fairly positive, but it has been a little mixed.
But I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. Some Bendis Daredevil reprints.
They're reprinting Volume 1 and 2, which is nice. They're printing, I think, Volume 1 in January, Volume 2 in February. So you don't even have to wait very long. They're literally coming back to back.
Yeah, some trade paperback Omnis here. Some more Red Sonja, Tomb Raider. Swamp Thing's getting the paperback thick volume treatment. It's interesting when you look up Omnibus on Amazon and they give you all this stuff.
Do you ever get the coffee cup that says Omnibus on it? Yeah.
It used to be a little, I don't know what it was, but I guess buses used to be called Omnibus in England and stuff, in the UK. And so these bus-related things would show up too, and then you'd have to go into this comics and graphic novel filter to get that out of there.
There's another one that's dropping, I believe, in February that I will most definitely be picking up. I cannot say this enough. I think everybody should honestly be picking this up. Other than the Postal Deluxe Edition, it's actually going to have issues 1 through 25 in it, and then I think 1 or 2 of the one-shots. So it's over 700 pages. It's really an omnibus, but they're calling it a deluxe edition. And that's through Top Cow, and it's written by Brian Hill and Matt Hawkins, and it is phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of Postal. If you've never read it, take a chance, find it digitally, do so. That's what I did initially. I was like, what is this about? And I read it digitally and I was immediately hooked. It was so good. It's such an intriguing and interesting concept. But that one's dropping in February, and I know I'm beyond stoked for that one. So I will for sure be picking that one up.
Good to know. Yeah, so we can I guess take a little pause here, dive into some questions or
Yeah, so because I don't know if you can see the comments or not, but Banana Jester is saying, could you guys speak more on the custom binds? Which binding companies do we use? Prices for dust jackets. He wants to do a custom bind for Rucka's Punisher run and Edmondson's Punisher run. Nice. So I guess our first question, Banana Jester, if you're still watching, you can answer this real quick. Is are you in the U.S.? Are you in Canada? Are you in the U.K.? Where are you located at exactly? Because that will help us narrow down what bindery to refer you to.
Yep.
There's a lot of really good binderies out there. Here in the U.S., there's two that I have used, and there's a third one that I'm going to be utilizing. Oh, he's in the U.S. Okay, so yeah. So for that one, the best binderies are going to be Haushin Bindery, which is actually located about an hour from where I live. They are probably one of the most well-known binderies for doing comic book binds. They do all of like the crazy. So if you've ever seen any of our other videos where I've done like the Swamp Thing overview, custom binds, or the Spectre ones, or the Ghost Rider one, those were all done through Haushin. And so they have like the graphic covers and all that, and they're really nice. They can get a little pricey when you kind of go balls out like that, but they are really nice. Downside is it can take them a long time to get them done. They're constantly on back order and backlog. So I think I was always told it was approximately 8 to 12 weeks, and I honestly think it took over 20 weeks each time I've done it. It's well worth the wait, but it's a lot longer than what you hope, I guess. So don't be in a hurry if you go through Haushin.
Yeah, you gotta, especially with the first bind, it's really tough to get over that hump where you're like, I just gotta forget about it,
Yes.
Once you've done once you're on your third batch, you're like, whatever, it'll be done when it's done, and you just move on. But that first one, you sit there twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, they did my Swamp Thing, they did my Ghost Rider, they did my Spectres, they did my Hellstorm, they did that one. Another bindery that I've used is Heroes Rebound. They are based out of, I think, the Atlanta, Georgia area. They've done a lot of stuff lately too. They did my Darkness Volume 1 Compendium custom bind. I bought the trade paperback of it. I found it at a con, and it was sort of falling apart and stuff. And so I took it in and actually had them bind it into a hardcover to match my Volume 2 Compendium. They did a really good job on it. The way that they do things is a little bit different than Haushin. I kind of like the way Haushin's comes out, but the Heroes Rebound does also really great work too. They also will do cover printing, the cover graphic covers and things like that. So they do pretty good work. They are much quicker than Haushin, so if speed is a thing, they are a lot faster. Last I knew anyway, it's been a while since I've used them, but they were much faster. They're a good group. If you go on their Facebook page, they're constantly posting new stuff that they've bound, and they've done some really beautiful books. There's some that I see and I'm like, God dang, those look awesome. Those look really neat. Like he just did one for like the Max. Like, I don't know if you remember that old book show. Yeah, he did the Max. It was incredible. The other one, though, that I'm actually going to be using going forward for a couple binds that I have, because I'm going to be commissioning Mike to do dust jackets. So I was like, well, if I'm going to have you do dust jackets, then why do I necessarily need to go balls out with the cover, the graphic covers and things? And because when I do that, to be honest with you, with Haushin, it averages almost $70 a buy, like per volume. It averages out to be about $70, which is about the normal price of an Omni. But you got to think you're also buying the materials to bind the and all that stuff. So I mean, it does get kind of pricey. Whereas if I go this other route, so this other binder I'm going to be using is Herring and Robinson. They are based out of, I think it's San Francisco, and they do not do graphic covers. They only do like that buckram cloth. Hang on, let me grab one and I'll show you real quick what I mean.
Yeah, they got some real nice examples on their site.
My Batman bank just took a dive. Okay, so this is one of the Booster Gold ones. So they do volumes like this, where it's just really kind of plain, and you can get the cloth or the air. I don't know how to pronounce it. The Era, whatever it is, whatever the material is, the Aradox, whatever it is. You can get that in different colors and things as well, and whatnot. But it's very kind of plain. But honestly, if you have a dust jacket on it, you're never going to know the difference, and it's way cheaper. Apparently, Herring and Robinson is much faster. Their turnaround time is approximately 6 weeks, and apparently they are usually right on the money with the 6 weeks. They, for something like this, it runs... If you get the headbands, tailbands, and ribbon, like I do every time, just because I think it makes your book look a little bit classier, it'll cost me about $27 for a book just like this. So I'm actually doing a 3-volume impulse set for my son, and he helped me design it. We're going to do a red one. Volume 1 is going to be red. Volume 2 is going to be white. Volume 3 is going to be red. And it's going to have like this like alternating kind of color scheme for impulse. And we're going that route. And it's only going to cost me, I think, $75, give or take, for all 3 volumes, compared to Haushin. If I go the other route, it's going to cost me 75-ish for just the one. And then I will commission Mike to do dust jackets for it. The dust jackets, I'll let him talk on the prices, but you can get them printed. Haushin will print them for you for $15 a dust jacket, which really isn't that bad considering it's like a real dust jacket, that glossy laminated like quality dust jacket, and then they'll mail it to you. So no matter where you live, they'll mail it out to you. It just costs $15 to print. Or you can try to utilize like Staples or Office Max or whatever you have in your area. And Mike can talk a little bit about that too, because I know that's what he utilizes. But yeah, so honestly, it just kind of depends on what you're looking to spend and what you're looking to do. I will say, if you do go to, you were talking about Punisher, if you actually go to Herring and Robinson's website, they have examples of books they've done, and sometimes they can also do the stamping on the books, and they have some examples of some Punisher books they did. They look glorious.
Let me see if I can pull those up. I'm showing like the Batman ones and stuff.
Yeah, if you get the stamps, the stamps cost a little bit more. So something plain like this is about $27, give or take. The stamps, I think, are like an extra $6 or $7 per stamp, unless they have to make you a stamp, then it's considerably more. But gutter loss concerns? No, not really. For the most part, they're really pretty good. They do a lot of the defab, the glue, is what the majority of them. They can do hand sewn. Usually if you do hand sewn, it does cost a little bit more as well. And with the hand sewn, you tend to get a little bit more gutter loss because they're sewing it. So while it may look like be like, can get more gutter loss with the hand sewn rather than the defab, but here's just a random. I'm trying to find like a good double spread page that I can show you guys. These are all ads. Here's one. Okay, so I don't know how well you guys can see that in there, but that's not really too bad, and things like that in regards to the gutter loss. So let me just kind of zoom in here.
Bring it up a little.
I'm trying. It's being weird. All right. So, anyways, yeah. So it's not too bad. It's actually pretty decent. But yeah, did you find those Punishers? I was looking down. I think you saw. Yeah, pull up those Punishers. Those things look glorious. They are so clean looking.
Oh yeah, They got that nice smell
Yes,
at the
those
top.
right there. Those are such beautiful books.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I would want dust jackets if I got those
I
books.
know.
Like,
I agree.
those look so good.
I saw I saw the most beautiful Black Panther books from there once, because they can also do like faux leather binding.
Yes.
And let's see if I can find it. This was like when I was first getting into this thing, and yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to, but
Yeah, I'm actually sending in 4 volumes to Herring and Robinson here, probably in the next month or so. I'll get them sent off. They're doing like I said, my 3 volumes of Impulse, which it'll be the entire Impulse run. And like I said, I'm getting that done for my son, and then I'm sending in volume 2 of the Ghost Rider run from the Danny Ketch run. I already got volume 1 done earlier. I'm gonna have them do volume 2 in the less expensive way, and then I'll have Mike design me some really cool dust jackets and things like that for it. But so yeah, that's in the U.S. That's what I strongly recommend. And then Mike, like I said, he can touch base on the prices, and then for anyone that's located in Canada, he can also give you some good binderies in Canada as well.
yeah. So in terms of binderies in Canada, I just use Lehman Bookbinding out of Kitchener Waterloo. They're great. You know, it takes a while again, like Matt mentioned with Houchin. It just it's a lengthy process, and I know Lehman specifically, they're doing a lot of rebinding and binding for thesis students and
Yep.
schools and all that. So I mean, they're swamped with work. But again, with your first one, yeah, you'll probably be anxious about it, calling like every other week, trying to see what's up. But like this last batch, I think is the fourth batch of custom binds I've done, and I sent in like 14 books. So I'm not expecting those until probably like March next year, which is fine because it's also going to be a pretty good chunk of cash that they want for those. So, but yeah, that's that. And I mean, really for dust jackets, I'll design them for $10, 10 US dollars. So a
Yeah,
little
not
more.
Canadian.
Yeah, 10 US dollars. And that's again, if you want it to be super specific, you've got a vision in your mind, you have a font you want to use, all of that, I'll totally accommodate. Some people have even reached out to me with torn dust jackets, and they said, "Can you recreate this?" I've done my best. There's one person I did I'll see again in my email if I can pull it up, but I did an Ultimate Spider-Man, one of the Bendis oversized hardcovers. I think it was volume 7, and he was so happy. He said he couldn't tell. Again, I'm not trying to blow up my own ego, but he said he could not tell the difference on the shelf, which is pretty exciting because you never know with screen, what it looks like on your computer screen as opposed to what it'll be like when you actually print it. It's the hotel
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
and $10 is a really good rate for dust jackets. There's a lot of other people I know that are in, the different comic book groups and things like that. They do amazing work. I'm not knocking these people at all. They are absolutely amazing. They create some really, really, really cool stuff. And I think a lot of them are probably graphic designers by trade. I think that's kind of what they do for a career. And so they tend to charge a little bit more. It's usually anywhere between 20 to 30 a dust jacket is what they charge. And then, another 15 or whatever to print it. It starts to add up to quite a bit of money. So, Mike's rates are really reasonable. I mean, everyone's is reasonable. I don't know. I don't want to knock anyone, but at the same time, I personally can't justify spending $45 total or whatever it is on a dust jacket. So, like I said, his rates are real reasonable, and he does really solid work. So
I appreciate that. Plus, I'm also thinking about the fact that that person then has to go and print it, and that can cost like $10 to $15. So,
yep.
It gets up there.
Unless you're lucky and you work for a printing company and you can print stuff for free. I actually know a couple people that they're like, "Oh, I just print stuff for free. My dad's got a printer shop or this, that, or that." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah.
How do I get the hookup? I work for Hyatt Hotels. All right, I'll hook you up with hotel rooms. You hook me up with printing.
Yeah. I'm trying to find these damn Black Panthers because they were. I'll never forget that image in my head. But I guess in the meantime,
Well, that's another bind I'm getting done. Actually, I'm going to be getting done probably in the next few months. Is the Christopher Priest? I'm taking the 4 complete trade paperback collections, and I'm actually binding those into a 2-volume Black Panther custom bind.
very nice.
Yeah, that's a fun run. If you guys have never read Christopher Priest Black Panther, I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Excuse me. It's a really good read.
Yeah, I've been really tempted to check out his Deathstroke because he had a pretty solid run on that too. I think it was, like around 50 issues.
From what I've heard, are you talking about the new or the older?
The new Deathstroke.
Okay, so the new one, from what I've heard, if from what I've been told by people, is if you are a Deathstroke fan or if you know a lot about Deathstroke, it's amazing. If you're a newbie coming into the world of Deathstroke, it can be very, very confusing. Kind of like Grant Morrison's Batman.
Yeah.
Which actually reminds me, I was just over here kind of looking at comments and things, and I know sometimes we don't always get a response. So if you're while Mike's looking that up, I'd touch base here. One of the comments that we had was actually on an older video that we did, which was an overview I did of Batman and Robin, Tomasi and Gleason's Batman and Robin omnibus. And someone asked, do I need to read anything prior to reading this? They just asked me that the other day. And the answer is yes. Well, you don't necessarily have to read it, but you at least have to be familiar with Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin run and Batman run. Because if you're not, it's the first handful of issues are not going to make any freaking sense to you. Yep. I was not familiar with Morrison's Batman run when I first read Batman and Robin. And I remember reading it going, why is Dick Grayson Batman? What the hell is going on? I was so confused. And then later on, we familiarized myself and read Morrison's Batman, and I go, oh, this all makes so much more sense now. So yeah, if you at least read it, if you didn't read it, familiarize yourself with Morrison's Batman run prior to reading Batman and Robin. But I do recommend Batman and Robin. It's, in my opinion, far more superior than Morrison's Batman run. I absolutely love that Batman and Robin. It hit all the feels.
Fair enough.
I know you're a big Morrison fan,
I disagree because but no, it's
yes, The Long Halloween. That's a good one too. I love The Long Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, Batman's just got so many phenomenal storylines.
Yeah, Morrison's hit and miss with me. He's I absolutely adore and I will never part with his Animal Man omnibus. That is one of the very first omnibus I ever read cover to cover, and it was because of you that I read it. Remember when I ordered it off IST and then it went out of stock and we were pissed and I was like, no, I'm never gonna get this book. And then I finally got it. And then someone was going to hook me up with it for free because it was a super beat up copy. And then they end up losing it and I didn't get that. And I'm like, I'm never going to read this book. I finally got it.
They are doing those deluxe editions now for the folks that.
Yeah, they are doing that. But Grant Morrison's Animal Man run is by far one of the greatest books I've ever read. It is phenomenal. I really dig it. I'm currently actually reading his Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol. It starts off really good, and then it gets really freaking weird, to the point. What the hell's happening right now? Maybe if I was on the same drugs he was on when he wrote it, I could appreciate it more, but I'm very confused by what the hell's happening. And then it kind of goes back to being awesome again. And then you're like, oh, okay, this is fun again. This is cool. And so I'm kind of in the, it's still pretty cool phase, but there was an arc. I remember I messaged you and I was like, what is happening in this arc?
Yeah. Yeah, and then you'd randomly message me and be like, it just got super weird again.
It did. It was different.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Doom Patrol's great.
Yeah, and then I remember you got excited with the Weird Hunter stuff.
Yes, Beard Hunter was amazing. That is one of the best issues of a comic I've ever read, because it's really like a one issue, like one and done type thing. Beard Hunter was phenomenal. For those of you guys that have seen the Doom Patrol TV show, I didn't know anything about Beard Hunter until I saw the show. I saw the show. I was like, oh, that's an interesting character. Then I read the Grant Morrison introduction of Beard Hunter, and I went, oh my God, why couldn't the show have done it like this? Like, the show did a great job on it, don't get me wrong, but it would have been 10 times better with the way that Grant Morrison wrote it. It seriously cracked me up. I was laughing real hard reading that one. That was a great one. Ghost in the Shell said, have you guys seen the Long Halloween motion comic on YouTube? It's 2 hours.
Wow, no, I have not.
No, I have not either.
That sounds exciting.
I know I might have to like carve out some time and try to check that out.
I remember back, it was probably about 4 years ago, there was like this Astonishing X-Men motion comic on YouTube.
Yes, I have seen that one.
I don't know. I was on the fence about it. It was
it's different.
Yeah,
It's different.
That's the way I'd say it. But yeah, I haven't checked out. I don't know if it's still a thing, but I remember back when we were doing Four Guys in a Comic podcast and we had Liam Sharp on the show.
Yes.
He mentioned Madefire, the app that he was I believe he was part of the creation.
I think he like co-founded it, yeah.
Yeah, and that actually had amazing motion comics with sound effects, and you'd see different parts of the panel come in at different times, and it was shifting around, and I mean, it was great because it was on your phone and you could control it. But I'll definitely have to check out the Long Halloween.
And it had the cool sound effects, and yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell followed up with, I still haven't read my copy of Seven Soldiers. I will get to it this weekend. What are your thoughts on it? I enjoyed it.
I did too.
There was times where I felt a little lost, but I think that's just how Morrison writes. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a good read.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it follows multiple characters, right? So
yes, it jumps around a lot.
Yeah, some of the stories you may like a little more than the other ones. The Guardian one was fantastic.
That one actually surprised me.
Yeah,
when I saw the character and like what he was or whatever, I was like, man, this is gonna be whack. It's like a mall security cop, whatever. Like, and then I started reading it and I go, God damn, that's really good.
Yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised by that one.
Yeah, I mean the Frankenstein one was great.
Those are awesome.
It's a good time, and again, if I remember correctly, they break it up so pretty much every issue, as you go through the book, is a different. It's not like 1 through 4 of this, 1 through 4 of this, 1 through 4 of this. It's issue 1 of this, issue 1 of that.
It's really how it should be read too, because they eventually end up, kind of coming together. So
yeah.
And it's still cheap. You said you had a copy already, but it's still a cheap book to pick up for those that are interested in it. I think last I saw, I regularly see it for about $35-$40. So. Yep. It's still a pretty cheap book to get.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it so I can get over the loss of the canceled Swamp Thing show. Yes. Yeah. Mike hasn't seen that either, have you?
I saw the first episode.
You fucking slacker. These Canadians and they're not having DC Universe. Do you guys have DC Universe in Canada?
I don't know if we do, but last time I checked, we didn't. The only reason I even watched the first episode of Swamp Thing is because service provider called Bell here has this thing called 5TV, and Swamp Thing was part of like this preview, I think, for Showcase, some channel, and it was on there, so I watched like the first episode.
Well, I heard a rumor, I think it's probably factual, but I heard something about Swamp Thing now going to HBO Max.
Whoa.
So if you have HBO Max, they're going to start airing Swamp Thing on HBO Max.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Swamp Thing was dope. I thought the practical effects that they did in the show were amazing. Like the suit, like that's not CGI. That's a man in a suit.
Right.
And I grew up on like the late 80s and early 90s Swamp Thing movies and TV show. And as a kid, I thought, this looks amazing. No, what they did there looks freaking incredible. That was bar none. Like that was really, really neat. They definitely did take some liberties with some of the characters and introducing new people and whatnot. But what TV show / movie doesn't do that?
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed it. That was good. So Mike, you got to watch Doom Patrol. Mike's only seen like half of Doom Patrol, and I keep telling me he needs to finish the season because he hasn't met Flex Mentallo yet. He hasn't gotten to Beard Hunter. He hasn't gotten any of that stuff in Doom Patrol yet. And I'm like, he hasn't even gotten to Danny the Street yet. He asked me, he goes, "Is Danny the Street in it?" Yes, you got to read Doom Patrol. You got to finish watching the show. It's classic. You got Alan Tudyk playing Mr. Nothing. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah. I gotta finish that up. Probably not even halfway now that I think about it, but I mean, it was good. I was enjoying it, but
Brendan Fraser is the most perfect casting choice for Robot Man. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like, when I first heard that, I went, Brendan Fraser,
Yeah.
and then like they first show him in the very beginning in like his human form or whatever, and I went, like.
Yeah.
I loved Brendan Fraser back in the day, but now I'm like, but no, as soon as it kicks off, though, he is like by far the best casting choice ever for Robot Man. Like now when I read Morrison's Doom Patrol book, all I hear when Robot Man is talking is Brendan Fraser's voice. It's great. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Faking orgasms is always fun. Yes. Well, you've read Doom Patrol. You know what that scene is. Let me just put it this way. They put that scene in the show. And not only did they put that scene in the show, but they ran with it. They sort of emphasized it a little bit more than what Grant did in the like it's good stuff.
All right, I'm sold. I got to keep going. Speaking of shows that look great, and I think it's a show, because I think the trailer you sent me, it said it was a movie, an animated movie. The Harley Quinn.
Oh yes, the link said animated movie, but I think it's actually going to be a DC Universe TV series.
Not for kids.
No, not for kids. So if anybody hasn't seen it yet, go YouTube DC Universe Harley Quinn animated show or something along those lines, and you'll see it. They released a week or two ago at this point. A trailer for this upcoming, and I had heard that there's gonna be a Harley Quinn cartoon, and I was like, oh, whatever, cash in on Harley Quinn. Then I watched the trailer, and I about pissed myself from laughing so hard. I was like, this is the show I never knew I wanted. Like, like this looks freaking incredible.
Wow.
It looks so freaking funny, and it is definitely not meant for children.
Even that trailer, if you're watching it at work, put some headphones into your
it's
computer.
not safe for work.
Yeah,
it's like a Red Band trailer. It's not safe for.
Man, Alan Tudyk's he's doing Joker and Clayface in that show.
She's got HPV. What sexually active adult doesn't?
I love that that's the voice they chose for Bane.
Oh my god. I laughed so freaking hard. Bane's just like, oh my god, I laughed so hard.
Yeah, it looks ultra violent. Looks like a good time.
Yes. I am beyond excited for that. I think it actually comes out, is it the end of this week? I think it's like right after Thanksgiving, isn't it?
It is.
Or am I making that date up?
Well, let's get people excited, I guess. November 29th, yeah.
Yes, right after Thanksgiving. Whoop, whoop. U.S. Thanksgiving, not your Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, so next Friday, well, not tomorrow, so like a week from tomorrow, like is when it drops. Oh, that's so exciting. Oh, dude, I can't wait.
So one last thing I guess we can touch up on while we're talking about shows and subscription services. Have you taken the Disney Plus dive?
Oh, you're cutting out, sir. I missed anything you just said.
Sorry, okay, so...
Hang on, you just cut out. Go back.
Speaking of subscription services, have you taken the Disney Plus dive yet?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I did day one.
So how are you enjoying The Mandalorian?
Oh, buddy. All right, so I originally jumped into Disney Plus because of obviously all the old stuff. It's all stuff I grew up on: Goof Troop, Gummy Bears, X-Men, Spider-Man, Silver Surfer, Incredible Hulk. Like it was literally everything I grew up on. Fantastic Four, Gargoyles. DuckTales, woo. Yeah, Darkwing Duck. It's got it all.
Yeah.
So I was beyond excited for Disney Plus. So I dived in because I have 4 kids and I wanted to introduce them to my childhood.
Yep.
And I will say right off the bat, they freaking love it. They think it's bonkers. All the shows, they think it's great. But aside to that, is you said The Mandalorian, and I haven't been a big fan of what Star Wars is lately.
Right.
Like Rogue One was great. But other than that, it's just kind of been sort of hit and miss with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like, do I really want to watch The Mandalorian? And I did, and I've seen there's 2 episodes. I've seen them both, and they are, dude, that show. Like once again, it's a show that I never knew I wanted.
Yep.
Like I never would have thought to myself, hey, I want to see this show, and then they give it to you, and you go, hot damn, this is a great show. Now, if only they could do the movies like this, we'd have a winner.
Yeah, just let Jon Favreau do all the other stuff. He seems to have a pretty good grip on it. I mean, I haven't seen the show, and honestly, like as I'm sure whoever's been watching this is aware at this point, I'm pretty oblivious when it comes to TV. Or
if you can't tell,
yeah, if you can't tell by now, I'm pretty oblivious to it. But so I had no idea until Disney Plus came out and they were saying, The Mandalorian episode 1's available now. I saw the trailer and I was blown away. I was like, there's no way the consistency of the quality, at least that I'm seeing in the trailer, is going to keep up. But it sounds like it is. I mean,
yeah, it's good. And that Baby Yoda, spoiler alert,
seen that
holy crap, yeah.
It's tough to stay away from any spoiler now. All these.
Yep, that's true. Especially with all the memes now with Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And it's funny because obviously it's not Yoda because this takes place after Return of the Jedi. So it's obviously not Yoda, but so it's like just the same race of alien as whatever Yoda is. But the thing is, nobody knows what Yoda's alien race is, so everybody just calls it Yoda. So it's Baby Yoda because like nobody knows what his race is.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
Unless you're hardcore reading the novels or whatever it may be.
Even then, I don't even know if they've ever said. Maybe they have. I don't know. I'm not that hardcore, but yeah, no. It's so everybody says, "Oh, it's Baby Yoda."
Well, we'll see. Well, I'm sure you'll keep me posted on what's going on. Lord knows I probably won't know what's happening, but it's getting close to that witching hour for me. So
yeah, I feel you.
The first of many.
Yeah. So first of all, we actually had a pretty decent group and it was interactive. So thank you guys, number one, for joining us tonight. It's late at night, depending on where you are in the world. So thank you guys for joining us and answering questions and asking questions and having fun with us. This is actually a lot of fun. I don't think we really expected anybody to live listen in with us. So this has been really fun. And Mike and I were talking that, me and him, we used to podcast weekly for a number of years together, and then life happened, things changed, etc. And we kind of this is the first time me and him have actually gotten together and talked rather than just text, and probably a year or so.
I think so.
Yeah, so no, this was good. So we were talking about doing something like this. I said throughout monthly just because who knows how. And then he's like, I was thinking weekly. And I'm like, yes, so was I. I just didn't want to throw it out there and make people feel like it's going to be a thing. So yeah, no. So we were talking about hopefully doing this kind of thing weekly and just kind of BSing about whatever and just sort of doing a little video pod, discussing hardcovers, comics, shows, whatever the hell comes to mind, just kind of hanging out. And if you guys want to hang out with us and join, you're fucking more than welcome. So.
Yeah. And I guess, we'll try and schedule these as best as we can in advance.
Yes.
So folks are aware. And I mean, once a week is, I guess, the minimum we'll try, but we'll see what happens,
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But, we've got some ideas for videos in general, talking about stuff.
Creating new content.
Yeah. Just mostly because, again, we've got our stuff going on and we can't afford to buy every hardcover that comes out. I used to be able to, but...
Not anymore.
Tried to do this whole start a family thing and
it's expensive.
Buy a house.
It's
do a wedding.
expensive. Yeah, I bought a house. I have 4 kids and I bought a house, so it's expensive.
Yeah.
But
But
cool. Well, man, it was good to talk to you. It's been
yeah,
a
for
while.
sure.
Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Are
And
you gonna come down in March? Are you guys gonna try to make it?
yeah, hopefully. So I'm gonna be traveling in February, get that all that Brazil stuff out of the way. Then March, do some Planet Comic Con.
Yeah, come on down, dude. It's gonna be a fun show.
Bring a suitcase full of custom binds and get some creatives excited. I was telling my fiance earlier today about it because she's like, have you ever shown one of these writers? And I told her the Brian Azzarello story,
Yes.
where
He geeked
like,
out hard.
yeah, he's, if for those of you that don't know what Brian Azzarello is like, he's very standoffish, um, very unapproachable. And then we brought like a custom bind of his Wonder Woman run, and he seemed seemed to brighten up. So I mean, um, yeah, should be exciting. We'll obviously announce stuff as we confirm things, and should be cool. Should be cool.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, Jeremy Wilson just commented and said, "I love y'all's video, and this show is great. I would love to see the show once a week."
Awesome.
So hell yeah, and we didn't even have like we started off like, is it working or are we live? Wait, is it really streaming right now?
Now we know. It'll be
So
tough.
yeah,
We'll have to
So this
obviously.
is.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh no, you're good.
We'll have to get a little more creative because I mean we can't just go over. We're not going to be seeing a ton of new pages show up on Amazon for new
Oh
releases.
yeah,
But
no, we'll have plenty of stuff to discuss though. It's a geek pod. It's a geek video
yep.
pod. There'll be plenty of stuff to discuss.
I mean we got future month solicitations for regular comic series. We'll talk whatever. I mean it'll be great. Looking
We can
forward to
talk
it.
all things Valiant. We got Bloodshot, the movie coming out soon. We can
Hell
touch
yeah.
base on that. We need to talk about the trailer. There's so much to discuss.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you hit the hay, and then we'll get together and plan some out, and we'll try to. Well, if you guys follow us on Instagram, hardcover comic, is it
Yep.
the hardcover comic or just
At
hardcover
the
comic?
hardcover.
Yes,
The
at
hardcover.
the hardcover comic on Instagram. We don't post a whole bunch, but we do post on there. And I think once we start having, and we post every once in a blue moon on Twitter. But we'll start to try like getting stuff out there to kind of let people know, hey, we plan on doing a live stream this night at this time if you want to join us for a late night convo. So
Yep. And yeah, just feel free to any questions about anything. Feel free to DM us. You can also email us at thehardcovercomic@gmail.com. Especially if you've got Dust Jacket requests, that's probably the best place to hit us up at. It's connected to my phone, so I'll see it and I'll be able to get talking with you. But yeah, thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. Unfortunately, I need to get a better setup for next time. Obviously, not in a hotel room while traveling for work, so I can actually see comments and see what's going on and all that jazz. So, all right,
all right, perfect. Well, you guys have a good night.
we'll cut it here.